All right, we're going to go with what we got. Okay, today we don't have any new material. We don't have any new assignments. Um, it, so this week you only have two assignments for my class. Okay, you've got the graphing assignment that I gave you on Monday, and you have your engineering challenge that I assigned to you last Friday, and they're both due this Friday. I mean, honest guys, so hear me out. I don't want you guys spending any more than about 30 minutes a day on the work that I give you, okay? Uh, I think it's plenty of time to finish all that within 30 minutes. Matter of fact, for this graphing thing, I think you could finish the whole thing in about 30 minutes probably. Um, but that's why today I didn't want to give you any more information or material, so that way we can go over questions that maybe you have, and we can answer some things. Matter of fact, Mr. Hoggett, you sent me a really good question, I think yesterday on emails, and I waited. I didn't answer you yet because I'm going to answer it in class today. We're going to talk about that. Our numbers are a little bit lower today, so make sure you talk with your friends. Okay, tell them they need to be in class. They need to be participating, because days like today, especially todays like today, the video that I record maybe can be helpful if they can rewatch, but it's not as good as being in class and getting the information that we're talking about. So, before we get started, any questions or concerns that you have, and Seth, I'm going to answer yours you asked me earlier in email. I'm gonna get to that later on. But does anybody else have any questions about your assignments that you have? Okay, I don't see any. So, first thing for class, I want us to consider something. In our writing prompt, it told us that we're going to have to graph these numbers over a certain period of time, right? So, starting in January and ending in, I believe it was April 13th. Yeah. So, since one key word there, when we look at graphs, a big key word that I just said is over a period of time. That gives us a big hint or clue as to which graph we should use. Now, your prompt may not have specifically said over a period of time, but it gave you months, right? And we know that months are ways that we keep track of time. So, let's say that you have two options, okay? You have more than two, but let's say you have two. You have a bar graph that shows you all this information, and you have a line graph. When you're considering data over a period of time, just put the answer in your text box. I want everybody to answer, so I need 19 answers. Which is better over a period of time, a bar graph or a line graph? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, there we go. Yep. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need 9 more people. There we go. Line. Okay, looks pretty unanimous so far, guys. And you're right. A line graph is definitely the best way to go. Okay, so when your graph, it should probably be a line graph. Now, I told some of you that on your comments. Those of you who turned your assignment in by yesterday, kudos to you. Even though a lot of your stuff that I saw, maybe it wasn't right, that's okay, because I got an opportunity to give you feedback. And now, when I give you feedback like that, if it doesn't have a grade on it, go in and fix it, okay? Because I want everybody to get a really good grade on all this stuff. So if you did a bar graph, go back and I would, if I were you, I would suggest probably changing it. Another thing that I want to address is some of the work that I saw. Your writing prompt asked you. It said the term flatten the curve. What does that have to do with your graph? Well, I had a couple, maybe two people. They said that it doesn't have anything at all to do with my graph. Well, that's not correct. Okay, it does have something to do with your graph, and I want you to tell me what it is. Along with that, as you make your graph, you'll have a line. Okay, that's why line graph is so good over a period of time. And that line shows you what direction things are trending. Okay, so we read a graph. We all know this, but if you don't, I'm going to remind you. We read a graph from left to right. Okay, and so if the line is going in this direction, then we know that it's trending up. Okay, if it's going in this direction, it is trending down. Okay, just like on Twitter or YouTube or whatever, if something's getting a lot of hits, it's trending up, and then you're not popular anymore, and you start to trend down. Okay, nobody likes that. Does anybody have any more questions or anything about any of this stuff? It's pretty simple. One other thing I just remembered. Don't put deaths and don't put people who have gotten better over this. We're just doing cases, okay? How many cases have been confirmed in the world, United States, and in Arkansas? So if you put one on there with cases and deaths and all these things, change it. We're going to say that for another time, okay? Now, Seth Hoggett, he asked me a great question over email. He said, all right, Coach Albert, when I made this graph, the number for the world is so much greater than, like, even the United States, or especially Arkansas. You can't even see it on the graph. You've got a few options there, okay? I've heard it called cook the graph. So what that means is, you can make the number smaller for the world, but you have to show that in your legend, okay? So let's say that, I don't remember how many, it's like, I think maybe 2 million in the world have it or whatever, something like that. So you could say that, for the world, you did one number actually equals, I don't know, 100,000, okay? And so that would give you, that would you could do that way. You could make separate graphs, okay? All this is up to you. So you could do one graph with the world, you could do one graph with Arkansas and United States. Or you could do just one big graph. It has Arkansas, United States, and then the world, one point actually doesn't equal 1 point. Does that make sense? Yes? No? I need some answers from you guys.
Yes.
Okay. Does that not? If there's anybody that it does not make sense to, put no in your text box so I can explain it again. Okay. All right. Awesome, guys. Fantastic. Don't log out yet. That's pretty much all I've got for class today. I didn't want to put a whole lot more on you. We're going to kind of scale some stuff back. Any other questions at all? Okay. Last thing. Tomorrow, Thursday. Okay, tomorrow. I think that it would be the 16th. Is that right? Is Thursday the 16th? At 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Okay, 6 p.m. I am going to get on. I'm sorry. Scratch that. Sorry. Back up. That's 7th grade. 6:30 p.m. 6:30 p.m. I'm going to get on this Google Hangout thread. Okay, and it's for your parents. So nobody's in trouble. Okay, this is so I can help them out. So we can kind of communicate. So we can figure a few things out together. Actually, it will make your life a little bit easier, to be honest with you. So, 6:30. Tell your parents if they're free to log in. If they're not free, they can get a hold of me some other time. I will send a remind out, but some of your parents are not on remind. Okay, so 6:30 tomorrow. Text your friends that didn't log in this morning and tell them the same thing. Okay, if their parents have questions, or actually every parent that can needs to log in tomorrow at 6:30. Okay. Yes, they can get on your phone, whatever device. So however you logged in this morning, they can log in the exact same way. And you might need to be there to help them navigate that. Okay, some of them will figure it out on their own, but you may need to help them out with that. I don't know, but it won't last very long, maybe 10 minutes, and then we'll be done. All right. Um,